Okay, annelot, Laura and Joyce. I've read through your vakprofilering and I've written bits of comments all over the place, so I want to go through it now just to explain the comments, because you can't read intonation in written work and my comments are sometimes not very clear. I'll do the reflections individually, so then individually you'll all get your own rubric and grade and so on. Okay, sometimes I just write strange comments. You know me already, but like, wow, that's shocking, huh? Not. So you can read those things. Yeah, some good questions. I liked your interview questions, they're very, very clear. And your introduction was also very clear. Yeah, this was something which could have been mentioned a bit more, actually, I think, about from primary education. You're also asking about their own feeling of competence, because of course if they don't feel very competent, there's a big chance they won't actually teach English, and that will say a lot about the level the pupils will get. But yeah, you said and actually it came out later about these American students teaching, and I thought, yeah, but they won't know anything about the kerndoelen and may not even be able to read them. They may not even read Dutch, and in fact that is what came out later in your report later on. Yeah, it's good that you did the observation with two of you. I wrote in here, because of the inter-rater reliability, that you can check each other's perception of what you've seen, etc. So that makes it much more valid for research. Oh yeah, here's speciaal. I thought it was... I actually wasn't sure if you can use that word. Hij is gekeken naar het verloop van de Engelse les in het bijzonder of speciaal de lesevaluatie, I think. Okay? Yeah, this bit was clear. Helder just means whatever's above it clear. Yeah, you can read that. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't you being rude. It was this person, this teacher, I think, just being a bit rude about... It was clear what her perception was of primary school teachers. Yes, clear. And then you had your verantwoording. I'm going to sit down this way because I don't think I wrote anything at all here. An unusual sentence, you can see that yourself. Yeah, you said here, het vermogen van de spreker zal niet worden getest op deze test, maar in de klas zelf. And I wrote down how's it going to be tested, and later on when I looked at the tool, which is further down, it also wasn't entirely clear what the requirements would be for speaking skills. Do they have to comply with a certain CFR level, pronunciation, intonation, etc., etc.? Yeah, the reflections I will look at individually in a bit. Let me get all the way down to the other bits here. Ja, this is the bit. Het domein spreken kan gemeten worden tijdens een reguliere methodeles of een opdracht die bij de test geleverd wordt. And it's still not clear what it is, considering speaking is one of the most important parts of communicative language teaching. It, in my opinion, is also important to have included that. What you have with the words and birds is nice, but speaking is nonetheless important. This bit was a bit confusing for me. It looks visually very attractive, but for example, ik verveel me vaak bij Engels. Ja. I was thinking, yes. Or is it, yes I do, I feel bad, red. You know, traffic light system. So I think it would have been perhaps more useful to have words here. I mean, group 7 and 8 can read anyway. I found this bit a little bit confusing. And I think that's all the comments. I had a couple of typos I looked at down here, so you can look at those yourself, and then the interview questions. Right, okay, I'll pull across the assessment form so you can, she says shrinking it down, so you can see it. What you'll see is it has Joyce's name up there, but I'm going to make an individual one for each of you. So your writing was very good. The theoretical resources that you used, well, you had some very good resources. Your explanation, oh, there's a typo there. Your explanation of the background, the transfer primary secondary, and the interviews that you did at the schools were very well done. You got quite a lot of information, and quite varied information. What I wrote here, this is the justification of your tool, if you like. You kind of very, very briefly said about CLT without going into the fact that, look, speaking skills are the most important part. Reading and writing is not very important. You do mention that the American students use writing, for example, but you don't go into it any further. Plus, you could have perhaps mentioned, is there a problem that the pupils have? It's the teachers, obviously, but perhaps the pupils do, or maybe do not, have a problem when they transfer to secondary. Your tool itself is lovely, the words and birds, but as I've said, the thing that I'm kind of missing is the link with the speaking skills. But basically, this was, as you can see by all of this here in the left-hand side, an excellent bit of work. What I wrote here was it was really very interesting to read, especially all the opinions from the various teachers you spoke to, so I really enjoyed it. And I will now go and have a look at the individual reflections, and then you'll get all the individual bits back. So well done.